What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. We haven't done one of these in a while, so we're gonna do a full day of eating. I haven't tracked this exact meal plan in probably a little over a month, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and just track everything I eat today. So first thing, today is gonna be slightly different. The order of my food is gonna be different because I'm not working out today. Instead, I'm going for a morning run. And the fact that it is already, let me see what the degrees is. It's already 70 degrees. It's not even 6:30 yet. It is, there you go, yeah, 6:27, and it's already 70 degrees. So we're gonna try to get this run knocked out early, but to start, we're gonna have 2 bananas. So right here, boom, 2 bananas. These are a little brown, but personally, I don't mind. I think they become like more banana tasting. My girlfriend would not eat these, Katie, but yeah, I pretty much eat bananas at any stage. I actually don't like if they're super not ripe and they're like kind of like a little bit more hard. I like them to be a little more banana-y. Also, we're gonna do 2 other things. So we're gonna try to drink a full liter of water before we leave, because my goal today is gonna be probably a 3 to 5 mile run. I'm gonna kind of feel it out. I've been trying to do 2 3 to 5 mile runs a week, and on Thursday's a rest day for me, so I try to wake up early, get that run done, and kind of have that done for the day, and just do work the rest of the day. I'm also gonna be having a scoop of this hydrate, and I don't really use this for any situation. If I was, I don't know, maybe a consistent runner, I'm using it more often, but I use this first thing in the morning if I'm gonna run, because I basically haven't had any water for probably, maybe 10 hours now. If I cut off water 2 hours before bed, I sleep for 8 hours. So I don't really have any fluids in me. I'm about to go try to run in 70-degree weather when it's humid. I know it's humid, I can just tell. So we're gonna be adding a scoop of this hydrate formula right here by Transparent Labs. So we're gonna do 1 scoop of that, we're gonna do a 1 liter of water, and then go down and go for our run. But as far as the run goes, obviously I'm not gonna film it. I'm just gonna simply take my watch and my headphones, because that's the great thing about this Garmin right here. This is the, I think the Forerunner 165. Yeah, I think 165 with music. So essentially I don't have to bring my phone with me, which is the best thing in the world. Because like whenever I run and my phone's in my pocket, it always jostles around. I know there's some shorts out there that have like built-in pockets and stuff like that, but you know what? I just like the fact that I don't have anything in my pockets besides my key to my apartment. I can just go for a run. But yeah, without further ado, today will be a full day of eating. This is a little bit of a longer intro, but the rest of the video will just be simple meal by meal by meal. I will start weighing things out as well. I never weigh out my fruit. Like I just call a banana a medium banana. So the macros for that meal is gonna be what? I'll pop on the screen right here, because I don't actually have it tracked at the moment, but 2 bananas is gonna be what? Maybe like 100, 105 calories per banana. So right around 200 to 210 calories, and probably maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 grams of protein. But the exact macros will be right here. And then the rest of the meals, I will weigh out everything. I'll measure out everything, because I actually haven't even broken out the food scale in a while. So I'm actually gonna bring that out just so I have a little reminder to use it later. Where's my food scale? Oh my gosh, it's all the way in the back, which just shows you that I haven't really been using it. But the reason why is because I've pretty much been eating the same exact thing like almost every day. But we got the food scale out now. But without further ado, I'll see you guys after the run for meal number 1. We've made it back from our run. We did 3.2 miles, went home, hopped in the shower, cold shower. I would do a cold plunge if I had it, but unfortunately my cold plunge is at home because we don't have space for it in the apartment, and we don't really have like an outdoor area or balcony where I could put it, unfortunately. But trust me, as soon as we move again, I'm getting a cold plunge because I do miss that thing quite a bit. But meal number 1, breakfast, we're gonna have some eggs. So we've got the Trader Joe's. This is just the cheapest eggs they have, just the classic large brown eggs, not pasture raised, anything like that. I do hope one day where I don't have to worry about my grocery bill whatsoever. I'll get everything organic, but right now I'm picking my battles, and eggs is not one of them. We're also gonna have a bell pepper and an orange. These, I don't think I'll ever actually weigh out to the gram like I would something else, because they're so low calorie. This, I just go with a medium orange. Almost every orange I eat is about the same size. If it was a cutie though, I would definitely track it as a cutie, one of those small oranges. A bell pepper, I track as like 150 grams, or about a medium-sized bell pepper. But the 2 things I am going to track today is our bread. So you guys can see this is the sourdough bread I use, Trader Joe's sourdough bread, sliced. Yeah, but basically the big thing is, it says 1 slice should be about 52 grams, and then the only problem is there are multiple different sizes of slices, right? So from one end of the loaf to the other, I mean, you guys can see, right? Like this slice is much bigger than this slice. So technically, like, which slice is 52 grams? And that's what we're gonna find out today, along with measuring out our butter, because that's another thing I don't measure out. I'll actually show you guys how I do it. I basically just unwrap the butter, do a little around the pan, and then I track it that way, or I use it that way. So we'll see. But right now we're gonna go ahead and see what each of these slices weigh, because they should be 52 grams is what the actual on the back here, I'll show you guys real quick. Hope you guys can see that. So it should be 52 grams for 110 calories. But let's go ahead and find out. So we've got a small piece right here. As you can see, the smaller piece, we'll lay that down. That's only 47 grams. So that's actually 5 grams under, so it'd probably be closer to maybe 100 calories. And we have our bigger slice of bread, which we'll go ahead and place down. Oops, actually, we need to take the small one off so we know exactly how much that one weighs. And that's 66 grams. So that's actually, what was that, 14 grams over. So what I personally try to do, just when I don't track and weigh out every gram, I try to pair a big slice with a small slice so it comes to around 105 grams. So it's 114 grams, so it's 10 grams over. But let's say we were to take 2 big slices. So we take another big slice and put the small slice down. That's gonna be 133 grams. So basically it would be 2.5 slices, right? Because 2 slices would be 104 grams, but this is actually almost 30 grams over that. Each slice is supposed to be 52, so that's almost 2.5 slices. So if you do that every single day for weeks on end, you're gonna be eating probably 3, 4 more slices of bread that you didn't account for. So personally, what I like to do is what I'm gonna do today, like I typically do, is take 1 smaller slice and 1 bigger slice, and that's gonna be around what they call 2 slices. And then save another big slice for another, as you can see, like one of the butt ends, one of the smaller slices on the end. So that's what I personally do. Once again, I don't think it's something you need to worry about too much. I don't think you need that anal about it. But once again, it's a YouTube video. I know you guys are gonna ask. I get people all the time of like, oh, like that olive oil spray was 3 seconds, so it's 10 calories per second, so that's 30 grams of oil, not 20 grams, or 30 calories of oil, not 20 calories of oil. I'm like, pump your brakes, relax. It's not that deep, but if you wanna be strict about it, if you wanna be a numbers guy like I sometimes am, you will have to measure things out because not every food label is super accurate. But without further ado, so that's that. We will be measuring the butter, but let me go ahead and get everything else kind of going. I'll show you guys how I use the butter so we can track that as well. As mentioned, typically I don't weigh out my butter, but I'll kind of show you guys what I typically do, and we will weigh it out today. Once again, I do apologize if things might be a little bit too long. It's like, Jack, just show us the food and what you eat, but I do get questions about like how I track things and what's the actual grams and things like that. So today, since it's just a full day of eating, nothing else, I'm gonna be a little bit more thorough with things. So basically what I do, I typically just open up my butter and just go around my pan like that. But today, what we're gonna do is actually let it go ahead, set it on the food scale. We're gonna zero it out, so say 0 grams. We place it back on. If there's a negative number, that's how much we used. So pan is nice and hot. We'll go ahead, take our butter like this, and all I do is just like that. So we'll go ahead and see how much that used. It says -4 grams. I've been estimating -7, or sorry, it says -4 grams. That means we took 4 grams away of butter, so that's butter's now in the pan. I estimate about 7 grams a day, so I guess I've been technically overestimating about how much butter I use. But I mean, once again, in case I do sometimes go to 7 grams, or maybe it's around 4 grams, I'd rather be safe than sorry, but I am glad that there was semi-accurate to not being like, oh, it's not 10 grams, it's not 20 grams. It's just a simple 4 grams of butter, and I don't really use that much. Like, it's just enough to coat the bottom of the pan before I crack my eggs in. But yeah, just want to measure that for you guys, and we'll go ahead, finish putting together a meal, and I'll show you guys the macros. And just like that, breakfast is served. Pretty simple. It does take some cook time, so if you're in a rush in the morning, I recommend something like Proats, Greek yogurt and fruit, protein shake, protein bar, piece of fruit, get out the door. But I do have the time, and this is literally one of my favorite meals on earth right now. Something about the toast egg combo, like I literally crave this. Like someone could be like, hey, you wanna go chicken and waffles? I'm like, yes, but I also just want toast and eggs. I don't know, I know it sounds weird. My girlfriend Katie thinks I'm crazy, but this is literally one of my favorite meals of all time right now. So this meal comes out to be 623 calories, and then it is 69 grams of carbs, 24 grams of fat, and 34 grams of protein. That is with the 4 grams as well as the slightly over 2 slices of toast, because the average was, I think, 113 versus the 104. So that is the meal. Also, yes, we're gonna have our orange, our bell pepper cut up. I'm gonna watch some Good Mythical Morning down this meal, and I'll see you guys the next time I eat. And we came home for a little bit to see the puppy, and this is Maisie. Are you excited to see me? Because you know every time I come home, we do go for a walk, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing here shortly. So yeah, pretty much. No food yet, just came home for a little bit to film some content at the garage gym. And then of course, when we come home, we always take the princess on a walk. Even though it's super hot out and it's gonna be really, really hot. You know that, right? You're already panting, but we're gonna go for a walk.
Yeah, do you wanna? You wanna go for a walk? Let's do it.
Made it back to the apartment after going home, walked Maisie, shot some content, so I need to go ahead and edit that after this, but we gotta have our meal. So we're having 2 scoops of the Transparent Labs protein. This is an isolate, so it is higher protein, lower calorie than a concentrate or other protein sources. So that's why it's 130 calories. Hope you guys can see this. 130 calories per serving, and I think 28 grams of protein. So it is higher. I'm gonna do 2 scoops. So, and this I'm just mixing in water so I don't have to weigh out the almond milk or anything like that. And honestly, I don't know why I started doing with water. If you guys have watched the channel for a while, I used to always use almond milk. Literally for as long as I could possibly remember, I always use almond milk. And I think I ran out at one point, and it's just like, no, it's screwed. I'm just gonna use some water. And I actually haven't looked back. I don't know why. I just don't have to buy almond milk now. So I just use water, and I guess it saves me on groceries a little bit, but I don't find myself using almond milk for anything else because I don't make oats right now. So basically the only reason I had almond milk was for protein shakes, excuse me. But now we're just gonna do 2 scoops in water. So we got that here. We're also gonna have 1 Honeycrisp apple. I don't normally weigh this out at all. I just call it a medium apple, but I'll go ahead and weigh it out just for you guys, because if you have to weigh this out, you have to weigh it out, eat it, and then put the core back on it. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But once again, we'll go ahead and scale it. 271, so 271 grams. But honestly, I'm not gonna eat this and then weigh the core back out and see the difference. I'm just gonna call it a medium apple, which is about 100 calories. But what I will weigh out is my cheese and blueberries, because those are a little bit easier to weigh out and make more sense. So blueberries, honestly, I don't have a limit. I will just eat as much really as I want in terms of blueberries. But today we're gonna go ahead and measure it out, because I think I normally track about 200 grams. So we're gonna go ahead and see how much 200 grams actually is. Because normally I do like a handful or 2. So honestly, that's probably how much I eat. No, let's go a little bit more. So yeah, that's probably about how much I eat. You guys can hopefully see that, like about 2 handfuls. And on the scale, that comes out to be 128 grams. So I might have actually been under eating blueberries. I mean, once again, like it's gonna be maybe 50 calories, but let's see how much 200 grams is. 190. Okay, perfect. So 201 grams, or no, let's see. Let's go ahead and just make it accurate. 202 grams. That's what we're gonna leave it with. So that's actually a very significant amount of blueberries, in my opinion. So 202 grams there. Then we'll go ahead and measure out our cheese as well. We're gonna go ahead, how do I normally do this? Let's go ahead. Because normally I kind of just like try to keep as little dirty dishes as possible. So I normally put it on the lid of the blueberries. What we'll do, take our cheese out. This is Parmesan Reggiano from Trader Joe's. Got that right there. Go ahead and pull this guy out. And this, I try to aim for about 2 servings, which should be 56 grams. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just take this out of the bag. I'm gonna go ahead and place the lid on there. Zero the scale. Give this a quick chop. Boom. Let's see. Okay, that's only 28 grams. That's actually pretty significant. I mean, I know it doesn't look like it, but just for pure cheese, so I actually get double that. Okay, I'm cool with that. So once again, I've been measuring out or on like loosely tracking 2 servings. So it should be 56 grams, 51. So more cheese over there. 55. Okay, 55 grams. We're gonna leave it there. I don't need any more. I don't want to cut another little bit off, but yeah, so actually, I guess some good news. Sometimes tracking can be a good thing, right? Because basically, I just learned that I've been probably under eating my blueberries and my cheese. Maybe that's why I was losing a weight a little bit more quickly, faster than I thought. But yeah, so now I get about 2 little blocks of cheese. Once again, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but just for pure cheese, it actually ends up feeling like a lot. And then, yeah, that's gonna be the meal. So let's go ahead, add that all up calorie-wise, because once again, I already tracked it, 200 grams of blueberries and 2 servings of cheese. But once we have everything accurately done, as well as our 2 scoops of protein on our apple, it is 616 calories. It is 61 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, and then 74 grams of protein. The cheese has a lot of protein, as well as, once again, this is 28 grams a scoop. Sometimes protein shakes are like 20 or 22 grams of protein per scoop. So the fact that Transparent Labs, once again, code Perez does save you 10%, has 28 grams per scoop is amazing. This is also normally my post-workout meal. So basically I go to work out around 10:30 every day. And right when I get home, all I want to do is go back to work, right? Go back to my check-ins, go back to getting stuff done so I can have the evening to do something with Katie or just relax. So this is my post-workout meal. It's super simple, absolutely zero cook time, high amount of protein, a decent amount of carbs and fats as well. Obviously blueberries and apple, the cheese has some fats in there, and I can eat this and go right back to work. No meal prep, basically zero cleanup, because normally I just keep the blueberries in the container, and just very efficient way to get back to work so I can have a little more time in the evening to cook dinner. But yeah, that is the not post-workout, typically post-workout meal, but now it's just like meal number 2 or lunch of the day, and I'll see you guys at the next meal. Now we are on to our third and final meal of the day. Well, yeah, because I'm gonna say the bananas are a snack, eggs toast meal number 1, protein shake, fruits, cheese meal number 2, and then ground beef, avocado meal number 3. We will have some dates as well. These, where are they? Organic medjooled dates from Trader Joe's. These are amazing, quite literally. Like I think they taste like candy. I'll be honest, I don't really eat much processed food. I don't really eat much candy, but those things, I mean, literally you put like Sour Patch Kids and those next to each other. I'm still gonna grab the Sour Patch Kids, but I'm gonna hesitate. I'm gonna be a little hezzy. But real quick, we're gonna have an entire pound of ground beef. This is the Trader Joe's 90-10, so 90% lean, 10% fat ground beef. We're gonna have 1 medium avocado. I never measure these out, but I'll go ahead and measure them out, or measure it out for you today to see how much I put in the bowl. We're gonna have a little bit of avocado oil spray. So we got our pan heating up here over like a medium-high heat. Once again, this does have some calories. Do I track it? No. Do I think it's negligible? Yes. Could you if you really wanted to? I honestly don't even know how you would. I would maybe estimate like 30 calories. I just do a quick, maybe a little bit more. I don't even know, like 10, 20 calories. I don't think that's worth it. I don't think that's worth stressing about. Now, if you were to use like an avocado oil I used to cook my steaks with, like then I'm actually pouring things out. That's gonna be a lot more than just a quick 2 sprays. So this depends on how much oil you're going to use. But without further ado, I mean, this is the simplest meal, and that's one thing about this meal plan right now. It is all about simplicity. I eat almost the same exact thing every day. The one thing I will change up is I'll have a ribeye steak once a week. So this is a ribeye steak right there. So basically for dinner, I'll either have ground beef or ribeye steak. But pretty much breakfast and lunch are the exact same thing, I would say almost every single day. But without further ado, it's gonna get loud, so I'm gonna turn the fan on before I actually start cooking. I'm gonna add some sea salt, or this is pink Himalayan salt. So I'm gonna basically open up the ground beef, salt it, throw it down, use the best invention of all time, this freaking ground beef masher right here. Got off Amazon for like $6. It is a game changer. So we're gonna mash up that ground beef, cut up the avocado, put it on top of the ground beef. I'll measure out the avocado and I'll measure out the dates, and then we'll go over the macros for the final meal. But yeah, it's gonna get really loud because of the vent. And this vent, like you guys probably hear, it kind of sucks anyway, so it doesn't really do much, but it's better than nothing. And yeah, I just don't want to talk over the vent. And like I said, it's super basic. Just make sure the ground beef cooks all the way through. It's no longer pink, and you're good to go. Also, another quick thing is I do drain the fat from the beef. I don't actually kind of use that, so I go ahead and put it through a strainer. I don't change the macros though. I'll be honest, I don't even know how much it would change. My guess is not a ton. So if you do drain your beef, I don't recommend changing it. I think the macros might be slightly differently. I just don't know how much. And I don't think it's worth saying like, oh, like you turned 90-10 ground beef into 99 ground beef by reducing the fat or pulling the fat out. Well, the fat's still in the beef. It's just like a little bit has actually been reduced as you cooked it. So yeah, as far as that goes, I don't think it's actually worth changing the macros for. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know. I've never seen anyone else do that either, like change the macros of the ground beef, even if they do like drain it or rinse out the fat, the liquid fat that you do get. So yeah, that's just another thing that happens, but that is what I do. Tap it off. So yeah, that is a pounded ground beef cooked up right there. And we also have our avocado. Might be a little bit off the screen. Let's see if I can turn you guys just a touch. There we go. So we got our avocado right here. I'm gonna go ahead, this avocado thing also from Amazon, I think, well, this is Katie's actually, but I assume she got off Amazon, is a godsend. Let me turn this silly little vent off. But real quick, what I'm gonna do is go ahead, put the avocado on a scale, zero it out, I'm gonna go ahead, cut it up, and then put it on the ground beef, and I'll see what the final number is. And the final number is 103 grams of avocado. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Okay, so avocado, we're gonna go with 103 grams. And I will say that was a slightly smaller avocado, so maybe it's normally close to like 120, 125, but just depends on the size of the avocado. So we go ahead and add that in, and then I'm gonna go say 3 pitted dates. I'm not gonna weigh the dates out. I don't think that is nearly as important. I'm gonna say 3 pitted dates, around 120 calories. But let's go ahead and read off the final macros for this in just a second. And here we have our final meal of the day. Yes, it's very basic. I personally love this. I know a lot of people might think it's weird. I could not do ground beef on its own, but ground beef and avocado combined, something about it, it just makes it taste that much better. So we're gonna have that as one meal, or as one part of the meal, and then as I mentioned, our 3 dates as the other. I'm gonna go ahead, they are slightly different sizes. I'll go ahead and open these up. Like, as you can see, hopefully, they do have some different sizes in there, but the biggest thing is I pretty much pick like any 3 and eat those. I'm not worried about it in the slightest at all as far as in terms of calories. It says 3 dates, or about 40 grams is 120 calories. I'm sure it's right on par with that. And they're so small, like it's not gonna make a huge, huge difference. But this meal comes out to be 1,085 calories. Yes, 1,000 calories, excuse me, because of the ground beef. Obviously that's like 800, let's see. Yeah, the ground beef itself is 800 calories, but it's 38 grams of carbs, 59 grams of fat, and 95 grams of protein. So a big protein bomb. Ground beef, I would split this up honestly between 2 meals normally, like in the past when I used to basically go to school, work, anything like that, I used to have 2 meals. But nowadays, honestly, I just leave it in one simple meal rather than have to cook it twice or cook it once, put it in the fridge, reheat it. I just eat it all at once. And I will say, if you're a grown man, a pound of ground beef is nothing. And that brings our total of the day, the banana, the eggs and toast, the fruits, the vegetables, the protein shake, all the good stuff, to 2,533 calories, 221 grams of carbs, 96 grams of fat, and 205 grams of protein. So in my eyes, more than enough protein, a very healthy amount of fat, and right around 2,500 calories. And honestly, calories might seem a little bit high to some people, but this is honestly what I've been doing, and I've been losing weight. My steps are very high. I'm getting close to 15 to 18,000 steps, sometimes even 20,000 steps a day. I'm having 2 free meals a week. So basically my thought process behind that is if I have 21 meals a week, basically like 3 meals a day, if I have 2 meals that aren't something like this, or aren't a steak or ground beef or chicken or whatever, if it's like pizza with Katie or Skyline with my friends or whatever it is, that still puts me in the 90% threshold of whole foods. Like everything you saw today, pretty much whole foods, right? Pretty much a little bit of processed stuff, which I think actually would have been processed. Maybe like not perfectly organic, but sourdough, some people might call that processed. Transparent lactose protein, I mean, theoretically that's processed, it's not raw milk, but it is all very, very clean. I get 2 free meals a week that I have with family or social events, and I've been losing fat like crazy. This is just what's worked for me. It is 2,500 calories. You can definitely adjust it to fit your macros. If you don't need 200 grams of protein, just do half the ground beef, do 1 scoop of protein rather than 2, cut the cheese out. There's so many ways to adjust it. Have 2 eggs and a piece of toast rather than 4 eggs and 2 pieces of toast. But yeah, this is what works for me right now. I don't plan to change it anytime soon. But yeah, that's a full day of eating. Any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.